And I see we are live. Cool.
Internet's activated.
Throw your hands in the
Hey,
air.
we're back.
Don't tell
It's
me
been
what
a
to do
while
with my
since we've
hands.
done an episode together.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in once again. This is the Teachers Lounge podcast presented by Beat Refinery. Learn how to mix, scratch, and make music at beatrefinery.com. We have school locations nationwide. Make sure to support Bach Rock Music School as well. So yeah, my name is DJ Geometrics. We're back again with another episode of the podcast. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
All right, I'm all right.
Good. Sean, what'd you do over the weekend?
I am burning the candle at both ends. It's the end of wedding season. I had a wedding on Saturday that was at a very small farm. It got torrential downpour right when the ceremony was supposed to start, and I was like, okay, this is the day my laptop dies. So I started preparing myself mentally. We can talk about that a little bit later for replacing my laptop with another sound source last minute, and I bought a toy. But I made it through the wedding. It was a whirlwind weekend just of life things, and that wedding kind of pushed me to the point of I need to start investing in 2022 gear. Well, 2022 gear, because it's time to replace some stuff.
Yeah, it's at that point now. Like I'm looking to start replacing some stuff too, because I've been using a lot of tools for the past few years now. But you know what? I forgot to introduce everybody else. We got Stylist Chris here.
What up?
We got DJ As1.
Oh, I'm just,
Hold
I'm
on one
just here to
second,
Madison.
Sanjay. One second.
I'm just
Sanjay.
here. Don't worry about us.
And of course, we
Whoa.
got Doc Plus.
What's going on?
We haven't done this in a while, so I'm like kind of rusty here. But
Rust the dust off.
well,
Chris, how was your weekend, man?
Rust the dust off.
who'd you ask?
I said Chris.
Chris.
Yo, yeah,
How's things?
yeah. Things are good, man. You know, life's always about the balance between being appreciative of being very busy and trying to also keep sanity. And these last 2 weeks, I've been pushed to the limit on that capability wise, and I'm all for it, especially since where we were for a good over a year and something where we weren't sure where our careers were going, or you know how you guys know during the pandemic I got my real estate license because I was like, man, I've never felt so vulnerable in my life, and I've always been very diversified as a DJ or as someone.
We never felt so non-essential.
Oh my God, right?
That's the word. You're non-essential.
Yeah, and when you got kids to feed and mortgages, like you got to think bigger. So I was like, I got to have something else going on. So
It makes sense. That makes sense.
But yeah, as Sean's saying, weddings are in full swing, and I spent most of my weekend doing private events and a couple weddings, and it was good times, real good times.
Shoot, going back to non-essential, sometimes some of the weddings, they treat us as non-essentials.
That is very real.
I did a private event this Wednesday where if I turned the music volume down any lower, it would have been off.
Yeah.
And,
Oh God.
And but it's like, that's cool because there's still one or two people that are actually listening, and that one or two people could lead you to your next call. So
there's the
still
silver
do your
lining.
thing, and yeah.
Never phone it in. Never phone it in.
I still sat there and played jams that I wanted to play. It was a dinner party, and so it wasn't any expectation of dancing. They just wanted some background music to fill their conversation. So it was a retirement party. So after some speeches, I played very, you're simply the best.
Tina Turner.
Stuff like that would just like fit in there. Ala Black, I'm the man. And
that sounds so good.
So just play some stuff like that that was kind of in the theme, and they dug it. So
It's dope.
they just didn't want it loud.
Otherwise they can't hear each other talking to each other.
Right.
Actually,
They were much more concerned about hearing each other's conversation than so.
Especially if you're wearing
Oh no, finish
That's
your thought.
me. Oh no,
Oh,
I was
finish
just
your
saying with hearing aids, legit, it's hard to hear things when there's like
With hearing
commotion.
aids.
No, I'm serious. I got family that like
Yeah. No, I get it. My grandma's got hearing aid too.
I worked at an assisted living home, and I was their first DJ and did things like that. And yeah, that sounds fun.
Hey, eventually, I'm probably gonna be at that point later in life, man. I'll probably
You'll
be
be
needing like hearing
your
aids. Man.
home's
I've
DJ.
damaged my ears so much, man.
Yeah,
Like,
no, for sure. I
Yeah.
feel like my ears are probably not the best setup for the future. I'm probably not in the worst shape, but you're a full-time music person around.
You need to get my earplugs, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Real
definitely
quick, actually,
get earplugs.
Doc
Yeah.
Bluss, since you brought
Yes.
that up, there's a movie I saw a couple months ago called The Sound of Metal. If anybody is interested in the perspective of a musician losing their hearing and then having to get hearing aids and how it changes your career entirely,
Oh my God,
go
this sounds
watch that movie. It's about a drummer, but it's really about all of us.
Dang, I gotta watch that.
Yeah,
I'm
The
sorry, I
Sound of
can't hear you
Metal.
guys anymore.
Neither can I.
Yeah.
But yo,
Well,
Doc,
yeah.
what'd you do over the weekend?
We had a
Past week,
real,
whatever.
yeah, we had an amazing weekend here in Austin. It was I'm so grateful. We had our second ritual, which is an event me and a friend put together at the W in Austin here, and we do very, very much inspired by like the 18th Street Lounge patio.
Nice.
We got we were playing lounge music, pushing it into the outer limits of lounge into dance and deep house, and man, it just felt really good. And we had two guest DJs with us. So it was me, Keating, DJ Lefty, and DJ Slide Drexler. And
Slide
Slide Drexler, man, it was
a dope name.
it was soulful. It
Love that
felt
name.
so good.
That's the
And
coolest name since Spencer Tracy, bro.
it was Formula One weekend too, so we had a really interesting mix of people there. I mean, it's what I like about playing there is that you get people from out of town that come in, you get people like locals, our friends, and then friends of the DJs. And I mean, we had this really awesome mixing pot of people, and even like the vice president of the Marriott was there for Formula One weekend, and it felt great, and we got good feedback. And I'll be putting those up on the radio in DC actually on WERA this Thursday.
Nice.
At least 1 hour from that.
Do you guys think Slide Drexler's alternate nickname is Slide the Glide?
It was Rolls Royce Joyce at first, actually.
Here's what I want to ask. Here's what I want to ask, Doc. Do you
Yeah.
know why? You know the whole why Slide Drexler is kind of funny.
No.
And neither does for the record, neither does Sean J.
You don't know? Come on, guys. Oh,
He's
man.
not sports
Not
guy.
sports guy. I know.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's a legendary basketball player named Clyde
Drexler.
Maybe he was inspired by that. I don't know.
No, actually,
it should.
He's inspired by Clyde Drexler for sure.
No, he's more
Yeah.
inspired by that than Olivia Rodrigo and Paramore and that good
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
references, though, Dad.
That is good. That
Big
is
shout out
good.
to NBA 80s.
Nice.
But yeah, anyway, it was an awesome time.
Dope.
I would love to have you guys sometime. I know you guys would.
I really want to get to Austin soon.
I've
too.
never
Yes,
been to
please.
Austin.
And Chris, I dream of you playing the ritual, man. Like you know exactly what to do.
He helped
love
create
it.
this
Awesome.
vibe.
You
When's
did.
the next
Well.
South by
Absolutely.
Southwest?
Next year,
Is that next
what
year?
is that?
I think they brought it back.
I've been
for
wanting
22.
to experience that.
I was supposed to do it
I
2 years
don't
in a
know the
row,
exact
and then
date.
events got canceled 2 years.
Yeah, I
ago.
was gonna go in 2020. And then
Oh, there you go. Let's go.
I like it.
What's
Make it
the
a boys
date?
trip.
what's the dates 2022?
It's March something. Let me pull it up. Let me
I
see
should know. I don't know.
Anyways, moving on. Art, what'd you do?
Oh, we looked that up.
Oh yeah, what's up, guys? I had a pretty busy weekend. Had some stuff going on, man. Typical stuff. I was just a little under the weather handling everything this week, so it was.
Yeah,
not
you were
the
sick
most
last
fun.
week, so
Me too.
I was
yeah.
definitely sick last week, and I was still trying to recover this week. I'm still kind of
Me
a
too.
little here and there. I feel like like all the weight and the pain is all in my spine and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I did a club gig that went really good. I did a wedding on Saturday. I got to use a bunch of new gear. I came up with this whole remote wireless system that basically was the idea was everything that I can take to this ceremony setup to do had to basically be able to be battery powered and fit into a backpack.
Talk nerdy to me.
Yeah, so like if I have to walk into a middle of a field and do this, I should be able to, no problem. And I was able to do so. And it was great. I also moved into the realm of doing it with a tablet. So cross DJ by Mix Vibes. Cross DJ app.
The name of what you were using. Okay.
Fantastic. Free app. Better than the other ones that make you need to pay for stuff. Like, it's great. But yeah, it was cool. And then I also just came out with I just released the mix. So last week also I had a deadline to do that BPM Supreme mix that you guys can hear online now on Mixcloud, or just go to their Mixcloud. Super fun to do, man. But yeah, typical me, worked to the deadline and got the mix in, and these guys are stoked, man. So I think.
So where is it?
I'm stoked, man.
Where
I cannot
can you
wait to
download it
listen.
again? It's like a BPM Supreme, and then
Mixcloud. It's on Mixcloud.
Their Mixcloud. Okay.
Yes, it's on BPM Supreme Mixcloud. So just go to the Mixcloud app, and or you can go to my Instagram and just click the link, or you can go to BPM Supreme Instagram right now and click their link tree, and it's the first link in there right now as well.
I saw that playlist,
Dope,
man.
man.
That's very fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it was
playlist
good.
was fun, man. The playlist was I think that was the most fun part, because they said, Carrie was like, clean, be it clean or dirty, just kind of do what you want to do, play what you're into, like put some stuff in this mix, whatever you're into right now. And I think for
Including
me,
an original track there.
I
of
put
yours.
an original track and two originals and two edits of mine.
Yeah.
So I used the opportunity to kind of slide that in there, and hopefully you might see some of those edits on BPM Supreme website soon. Working on that. Yeah.
Dope.
Sweet.
Awesome, man.
Congrats, man.
And I'm drinking a lot of water right now.
But yo, like the battery setup for ceremonies is the way to go. I've been doing that for a while now. I've been using like my camping batteries.
Oh yeah.
Actually, one of my camping batteries
nerding
can
out on
actually power both my speaker and the setup that I have, because it's my camping battery is like about 500 watts. But the thing I need
it all
is
depends on the
man.
speaker. How many watts the speaker is. A lot of times, like my QSC.
but it's like the
hard to
if
power.
it's like 1,000-watt speaker, you're not gonna use all 1,000 watts.
That's
So it's
the
like
thing.
True.
It depends on
for
how loud the
ceremony, it's
volume
like you're
is.
not blasting it, so you're probably
True.
only using like way less than that,
I guess you're right.
But I definitely need to find like a smaller solution though. Like I need to find like smaller batteries, and I don't want to keep using my camping batteries, But it's been cool doing like a battery, setup.
You just need a universal power supply, an uninterrupted power supply.
Yeah, one of those.
Like the
portable
ones that cost
UPSs.
like $70 can last about 15 minutes. So my guess is like a $400 one, $500 one probably lasts
An hour or two.
Which is actually the same price point you're looking at for one of the good, like
Yeah, like a lithium
marketed
battery.
as portable ones. Yeah, like I got this for my wedding, so that was years ago. It works, but it's also not rated for.
As long as it's
a long
lithium
time.
batteries can perform at 100%. Like it's what it's made for, from full to like maybe like 25% like capacity. It can still perform fully. Unlike
So that's the lithium ion is basically like
yeah, it's performance wise, it's the way to go. But if it's
Performance-wise,
like a
okay.
regular battery, like a car battery, its performance gonna degrade like as you go down to like 30, like even past
see what you're saying.
70% capacity.
Wow.
So they're not that reliable.
I never knew
But
that.
yeah, if you're trying to power like a refrigerator, in a camping truck, on a road trip to Utah, you need to go with lithium. So
Personal
yeah,
experience
I've
pays
done
off
my
there.
research on battery performance and all that. But yeah,
Gio, how was your weekend?
oh, My weekend was great. I did a wedding. Probably one of my most favorite weddings of the year.
Nice.
It's at the Renaissance Arlington hotel. One of the bigger weddings, probably the biggest wedding I've done all year. We had like about 330 some guests
Pretty
I
big.
saw those
for that
pictures
wedding.
and
But
videos. Whew.
yeah, huge. I mean, big ballroom. I wish I brought like a much bigger sound system. I brought like 4 speakers. That was pretty much enough. But it's like I need more of the RCFs weren't kicking it that well
Really?
for
Well,
this
for
ballroom.
300, that's a lot of people. Did you bring subwoofers?
I had like
You said
I-
4
I brought-
speakers.
I brought in my
So-
my 2 J8s and my 2 15s, my 2 EV 15s.
Okay, so you had them all
Nice.
rocking though.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough. I need more bass.
More low end. Yeah.
It was enough for them. I
Yeah.
guess
Oh, yeah.
volume and mid bass wise, but yeah, in your mind you were like, there's not enough low end in this.
Yeah. But the highlight of that gig was like I brought out my new lighting setup. So I bought these Astera AX1s. You guys know the whole lighting trend this year are like those light bars.
The light
They
bar
look
on
like-
the pole.
They look like fluorescent light tubes. But they're
Oh, yeah, yeah,
they're really dope, man. Like you can control them DMX. They're bright. They're like 1,000 lumens each one. So I have 4 of them. So they're really bright. But I think I'm gonna start like incorporating them into my speakers for just bringing them like maybe 2 like at like my smaller gigs. They're really good. I recommend if you're trying to.
It's a very good standout.
But
move.
it's expensive. They're very expensive
Are they?
lights. So
Here's a question for you on lighting. Lighting's not my specialty. I know how to operate stuff, but I don't know what companies are doing things that are like long lasting. Compared to a company like Ape Labs, which I know is like a boutique brand, where would yours fall in? Are those like higher end?
so
or
I
lower
did
end?
I did look at like multiple like brands that do like the light tubes. Eliminator and like American DJ, they're not the greatest. They're not bright at all. Ape Labs and I've talked to Flips about this because he has those.
Mhm.
He does.
They're not that bright either.
Really?
So
I
was
know a lot of people that bought those. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to decide whether to go with the Ape Labs or like the Astera. And when I finally looked at the specs, I was like, wow, this is way different. Totally. Astera blows them out the box, man. I mean, there's a reason why Astera AX1s are used by TV and film industries. That's what they use for like, really like for music videos, for, those are like the light tubes that you always see in music videos and
Yeah.
TV
okay.
production and all that. It's there's a reason why they're a standard. So, and I learned all of that from like watching Jason Janai's. Big shout out to Jason Janai.
I know a lot.
He because him and his company, they use those lights, and he's got a couple good YouTube videos that really kind of convinced me to get those. But again, it's expensive, but they're well worth it. I can see him. I can see myself using them a lot next year, and it's a good selling point. I think I'm gonna, secure a lot more contracts with those just
Secure
to
the
be
bag
different,
even.
And not a lot of people in the area use them, so it's like, might as well jump on them, just get a head start on having these ahead of the other guys.
That's what
Are
I'm saying,
those-
man, get ready for 22?
Are those wedding? Are the big wedding shows coming back yet? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, January. That big show that in DC that's always happened. They're actually back in January.
are you gonna try to bring them? Because I know you've done booths at those before. Are you?
I kind of don't need
Okay.
the shows anymore.
That's good.
I rarely book a lot of brides from, or not. I shouldn't say brides anymore. Couples from those shows. It's I've gotten to the point where it's like the wheels are rolling. But if you're starting out, I recommend it just so you can get that list.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what everybody's like all for. It's like getting that mailing list, and whatever you do with that mailing list is how you determine how successful it is. But I've had success to where I was using the mailing list, doing because they have addresses. I was trying to do something different, and I did direct mail, and I actually was successful at
That's
booking a lot of
smart.
getting a lot of inquiries
Wow.
from there, because they're already gonna get so much like emails from
Yeah.
all kinds of vendors from the show. You might as well try to get their attention, elsewhere. Either book them at the show, or just get them through direct mail, I guess.
That's so genius.
Yeah.
Way less noise and competition in the DJ space and direct mail. That's wild.
But I don't try to do like those big bridal shows. I try to do like more of like the smaller trunk shows. So if you
Like
if you
showcases
have like a
hosted by a venue.
if you have like a venue. Am I going too long, Adrian? But yeah, like but anyway, that's not even my story. All right.
Yeah.
So-
Tell us what happened
So-
to you that had you so.
So we do have a confessions of a DJ, and that's I have a it's not really a confession, but like it's story time. It's story time, fellas. So the weekend before, I was supposed to tell the story from last week when we were supposed to do the podcast, but everybody was sick. But last weekend I had like a very interesting wedding. So this is out in gosh, I forgot the venue now. The
Blue Ridge Mountains.
No, Blue Farm B&B and
I just got
something like that. Anyways,
Blue Tavern.
it's
Blue Duck Tavern.
what is it?
Blue Duck Tavern or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a Blue Farm B&B or something like that. But basically
Blue
big
Hill.
property. Blue Hill Farm.
I've been there.
Yeah,
Okay,
B&B.
yeah.
Blu-ray
So
Cavern.
big property, small house, small venue, everything. But they got huge property. So last week, the weekend before, I had to do a wedding, do a ceremony, cocktail hour, reception, and this was a day where it's like it was storming and raining all day, and this venue is really not built to do like having like a rain plan.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, going over there, it's like already like the loading was like horrible because like they had like tractors in front of like the carriage house where
Who makes these calls? Oh, this is going to be a great wedding venue.
But yeah, it was like I had
Every
to, like,
vendor.
I couldn't roll things in because like everything's like gravel,
It's
so
all
it's like
gravel,
with
yeah.
carts you can't really roll things
Oh
on
my
gravel.
God.
So I'm like, and I had to carry everything in, and then they really didn't think about the DJ. They had to put me in the corner, and corner of this house, and they had like I think they had like 100 people in there, and it's like there's no way. It was tight. All the tables were like really close together. It was tight fit in there. But yeah, as far as like ceremony, I have to do the ceremony in the backyard part of their property behind the house. And it was raining, so basically the ceremony got delayed an hour and a half.
Wow.
And thank God I have like battery setups because there's really no outlets out there. They basically have to run like 150-foot extension from the house.
That's why I remember that place.
And thank God they have a little gazebo, so that's where I was set up, like where the ceremony is. So if they had me set up like out there in the rain, I'm like, no, I can't do it. I need a tent. You guys should have brought out a tent. But here's the thing, though: the coordinator had a rain plan. had a call like 11 a.m. I said it on the timeline. 11 a.m. They were supposed to make a rain call to like whether to not do it outside or just do it inside. And apparently they couldn't decide. So it was like an hour and a half delay, and then we went into like a short cocktail hour. There was actually I had 2 cocktail hours. So in the beginning of the day where everybody was coming in, ceremony was delayed an hour and a half, so I had to do a cocktail hour in the beginning, and then after that we had like after the ceremony we had a short cocktail hour. So I was like, all right, 2 different cocktail hours. I had to like
That's weird.
I had to DJ the second one because I had
Hopefully
like
they
a mix
got plenty
going on
of
the first one.
cocktails.
Oh, shoot, man. Everybody was drinking at that
Extra
point.
time for cocktails.
But that's not even like the worst of it. Like, we did all the grand entrance. We did the first dance. We had the what else did we do? No, we had like everything else was like set up later. So like, we only had a grand entrance, and first dance. So all the parent dances, cake cutting, and all that was like later after dinner, and toast and speeches. But all right, so like once dinner started, okay, like not even like maybe 10 minutes into it, I get the coordinator comes up to me. It's like, hey, the groom just had like an allergic reaction to the food.
Oh,
So we're gonna have to delay things. He's in the house right now,
delay or
and they're trying to like give him like
Benadryl.
like stuff like that,
wow.
And so I was like, okay, that's all right. Just let me know when things are okay. So like maybe 30 minutes later, actually not even, like maybe 20 minutes later, coordinator comes back to me, hey, we just sent the groom to the hospital.
Holy crap, man!
What?
Wow.
So
this is nuts.
So now we're gonna get updates from them, but I think you're gonna have to start the night off
party?
right away, and
Start
just
the
like
party?
just
Oh,
do what you
basically, so
can.
the groom bounced, but the people are still here. We're gonna keep partying.
Groom, bride, and the parents, of course, they bounced, and
Screw 'em.
so and
Get 'em
nobody
outta here.
knows. Here's the thing: nobody knows what's
So let's
happening.
party.
Let's rage.
So I'm like, as I'm like looking at the dinner, I'm like, okay, it's like everybody's like pretty much like fed, it's like, and then that's when I started the
And then
party. It's like,
plenty
hey
of
man, we're gonna
cocktails.
start the party early here, we're still gonna wait for bride and groom to like come back to continue on with the rest of the festivities. So, but party's open, open dance floor, blah blah blah, and drinks, keep drinking, keep eating, whatever. So basically, I was DJing. I literally DJ'd the whole night without the bride and groom.
Wow.
Whoa.
So all that prepping, all the prepping, and like
Alright,
I
so
like
here-
this song. I like that.
So they
You
finally
do
found
that.
out. They a lot of the guests finally found out like maybe like an hour into the party. It's like, oh shit.
Oh,
Here's the
They're not
confession.
here.
Here's a confession.
They're
Was it
like,
more
what are
fun
we
without the
doing?
bride or groom?
Oh, they must
Or
be
less
doing
fun?
sunset pictures. Oh, wait, it's
Oh,
cloudy and
God.
rainy.
Yeah, so this is the first where I've DJ'd a party, and I mean not even like I'm only like a good thing we got their entrance and their first dance. I mean, we got those pictures, we got the ceremony and stuff, but it's like nothing was working for them like the whole day, man. The ceremony got delayed.
yeah. I was gonna say
It
you're
was
saying
raining. It was like
It started with
miserable.
the ceremony delayed because of rain. So it starts with the rain, and then it
Yeah.
goes into food poison, and then wow.
I mean,
It's
talking about like that's a story. I mean, I've been DJing weddings for 20 plus years. I've never heard of that before.
That's
Ever.
insane. Yeah.
Ever heard of
it's never
the
happened to
groom or
me.
the bride,
So.
somebody like the actual bride or groom. Yeah, you've heard of other people. Like I've been at a wedding before where somebody like had a mild heart attack or something and had to get rushed away, and everybody's like frantic and oh my gosh, but but nothing where it was like the stars of the show.
Yeah, no, the actual stars of the show. But I mean, it ended up.
Did you talk to them? Have you?
Yeah, I actually emailed them like on that Monday. So I was like, all right, I have like the email open up here. So it's like, hey, so and
Yo,
so,
you good?
just wanted to check up on you guys. How
Subject
are you
line.
feeling?
Yo, you good?
And then the groom replied back, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. We heard you saved our wedding and made it a special moment for our guests. Still extremely upset our evening with friends and family was cut short, but thank you for making it a great day from start to finish. So that's a good review right there. What's up?
That's a good review right there, bro.
Actually, not because he wasn't there.
Yeah, it doesn't count. You need a real witness.
Excuse me.
You need
I'm kind of contemplating
Was it a
whether
was it a
I
good
should,
party?
like reply back like, hey,
we need the best man to give you a review, or somebody, the matron of honor, or somebody.
There
that
you
actually,
go.
But once everybody figured it out, then yeah, like a lot of people trickled out. Pretty much the only people that was left were like like the close friends, family,
Immediate
and like
family,
every all the wedding party. But we also like after that one last hour, they found out that we found out that they were gonna come back. So yeah, like the property owner was nice enough to let everybody stay. I fortunately couldn't DJ because like they have like a sound ordinance out there. So it's like, but property owners are like, yeah, we're allowing everybody to stay for until they, when they come back and you guys can stay for a bit. So that was nice of him to do that. But yeah, so that was my interesting wedding story.
Man, that's a story that'll live on for a while, man.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's
terrible.
I never heard of anything like that. Crazy.
What would you do if you guys got married, like and had to miss your wedding? Would you make it up, or is it?
I'd call the DJ and be like, dude, just have a good time, man. Company,
just, like that's a question I'm thinking about.
Sorry,
trying to figure out what's in their head right now because like they missed out. They got all the important stuff.
It's TBD, man. TBD, because like you can't ask everybody to come
and
back.
This is a wedding that was postponed.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
There's worse.
They're either going to be divorced in 3 years, or they are going to have like either the 10-year or 20-year like renewal party that's going to be like the bash.
That's going to be the situation.
There's no other way. Like, cause all the stuff that went wrong with their wedding, either they're not meant to be together and the universe was trying to tell them, or it's the flip side of it.
I actually believe in that.
The flip side of it, though, is people always say it's good luck if it rains at a wedding and things like that. So with all the crap that they went through, they're going to have like the most amazing marriage. And like I said, they might have like the 10-year, 20-year, like, oh, we're going to Bali. Whoever wants to join us, we're renewing our vows and Bali.
Yeah. I mean, and then I guess going with that on the flip side, like there is like this one wedding I did earlier this season. It was at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, and it rained right after ceremony. Like during cocktail where people were in kind of under a thing. So it was okay. It rained for like 10 minutes and then it stopped. And then it created a gigantic fucking double rainbow. And then photographers were like,
double rainbow.
And these guys were kissing around the rainbow. And I was like, wow. Like that's not fucking something like the universe saying
double
like,
rainbow.
Guys. You guys are so good together. Here's a beautiful double rainbow picture for you.
Well, unfortunately, this wedding didn't have a rainbow. So I mean, it ended up clearing up for like we had a small amount.
Yeah,
of time
but we were near the base,
ceremony,
so like the water reflection, it was immediate.
Oh man,
that's some storybook stuff, Art.
That's crazy.
Damn.
All right, enough of story time. Moving on.
Moving on. Let's get on to some topics, guys.
So the same weekend that my wedding story happened was also the same weekend as the DMC World Supremacy Battle.
Eric J won the championship.
Yep.
But everyone's talking about the battle between Ease and Esquire. Why?
Yes.
The show.
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
We've had Ease and Esquire on the show before, but yeah, that was
those are the homies actually.
Those are first round battles too. It was that round was in the first round, but basically, yeah, like Doc was saying, Eric J got won. He's now a two-time champion. And then the guy that's got second place is how do you say it, Art?
Camilix.
Actually, no, he actually pronounced his name right because like one of the rebuttals, he was like, I know everybody's gonna pronounce my name wrong.
Yeah, he told you how to do it. It's just
I think everybody. I spelled it out phonetically. It's Hemielix.
Yeah, it's the CH in the beginning. I think like as dumb Americans, we're like a
silent C. Yeah,
we're like Shemilix, man.
Chameleon.
Chameleonaire.
Like I read Pogito for the first time. I said Polido, and I'm like, damn, stupid American.
My wife. First time she met my parents and my one of my sisters, we had dinner at, I think it was Chili's. I think we ate at Chili's. and she was, she's nervous around. She was nervous around my parents. And then as we were going around ordering, and then basically it was her turn to order, and I was just making fun. For some reason we were like talking about like stuff food, and I was like, we were pronouncing stuff wrong. So he's like fajitas. So I think it got engraved in her head to
And
say
she
that
said,
out
"I
loud.
want
So she went like fajitas, and she knows like how to pronounce it, but it just came out.
It just
And
came
we
out
just-
with China.
We just like we laughed about
Yeah,
it,
it
and
sounds like an
made fun
infection.
of her ever since. But anyways, going back to the DMC battle, the highlight of the battle was definitely Ease and Esquire, and
Yeah, I'd say so.
and Art. As you remember, we had Esquire on the podcast a year ago, and we were talking
Mhm.
about DMC World Finals, to where like, wow, it's like they brought like sort of like a WWE style element to it, because after you go battle, you can like rebuttal, you can post up like a
Right.
video of you talking talking
Yeah,
trash
so
or whatever.
the reaction videos, yes. So
Yeah,
now
reaction.
if it's online, there are these, you're allowed to film a reaction video to the routine, and I think it's been great. The first year we did it was last year, and I think we did okay. I did some reactions that were like right in the middle, trying to hurt someone's feelings, but then trying to kind of also be like, just ride that fine line. But then, yeah, I think these guys definitely took it a little bit further and stepped over
To the
that
next
fine line a
level.
little bit. They took it to the next level.
But
I
yeah,
was
like
must
they
have
were
didn't see
talking about
this.
each other's moms,
Yeah, I
girls.
think they're talking about their wifeys, their moms got talked about, pulled out in the end. I think they're calling out each other's championship titles.
Yo, the one funny reaction came from Ease, and he said something funny about like, because like Esquire did like a routine where he's done it before, and then he basically Ease brought it back. It's like, oh, this kind of sounds familiar, and then all of a sudden he posted up like a video of him like back in 2012, like doing the routine.
Yo, that's sad.
Yeah, so these videos, these reaction videos are going further now because these guys are also editing these videos. It's like
Wow.
literally sitting there like thought bubbles popping up.
Yeah,
You're like, oh
yeah.
my god.
But yeah, it was very interesting. Like I'm just going through my notes right now. Like he was talking about like flare. Like Ease was like flares, and then like Esquire corrected it. If you knew what this scratch is, it's called a chirp flare. Stuff like that. What else was there? What oh man, something about the paper champ. Oh yeah. Ease, I guess, said, "Oh, or no, was it Esquire?" I think
Yeah, no, the People's
Esquire
Champion
corrected
team,
Ease
yeah.
on the paper champ,
Paper champ. Yeah.
and then he was like,
And then he said something about the Rochester
education system. He was
educational
like,
system.
I guess they're not teaching anybody real well in Rochester. It's
And then Ease
it's
rebuttals with
it's
like,
paper champ, not people's champ. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I think that was it.
and then Ease was like, no, Rochester's the home of a lot of companies. I think there's like Champion Kodak.
Yeah.
A lot of this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yo, that's
Ray-Ban
funny.
and it was
Bosch and
interesting.
Lom.
I think from what we were talking about, I think Gio feels like it was scripted.
Oh yeah. Come on, like,
see,
we talked to Esquire last year about that, and he said he's the one that says I would definitely want to join this battle if they're going to do it online again. I'm
That's very
definitely going to
true.
join just because because I know he's a big time WWE wrestling fan, and
that's very true.
if anybody is able to like really like create like a better take that part of it and bring in. Take the promos, like what a lot of wrestlers are always like talking about and stuff. In the ring. He knows how to bring that element into.
Oh, he definitely
battle.
brought that, and I think it was super interesting. I just think it's like some of the stuff, man. I mean, you can script it, but it feels like they were really going at each other for a bit to me.
So
I
it's
don't
like
know.
the veil is so thin you can't tell what was fake and what wasn't fake.
Yeah.
That's where the WWE part of it comes in. But something else interesting hearing you guys talk about it, having not seen the battles myself, we actually talked about this on our show back when we had the Goldie Awards.
The Goldie Awards, yeah.
This is kind of the same evolution we were talking about with Lazy Boy's entry for Goldie Awards. When everything was virtual, it was like you got to use the platform that's in front of you, and they use the platform that's in front of them with the reaction videos. I think
And remember,
exactly
Ease
what we
and
were
and
speculating.
you know, Ease and Lazy Boy are like boys, so it's like
Yeah, they all worked in the same room on that stuff.
I honestly think it was definitely pre-planned.
That's
I didn't
genius.
I don't think Esquire had any routines. He didn't have any new routines during that round, did he? Art, is he frozen?
Uh-oh.
Looks like he's like it looks like he's like jump ship.
He's thinking real hard about it. There we go. He's
Oh,
back.
there he is.
He's moving.
There you go.
So Art, did Esquire have like any new routines in that round? I mean, they're all the same ones, right?
Yeah. No, I think Esquire did the. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. He has the Love Below routine. I think that got upped. There was the Love Below routine that he used with the whole "she's in my lap." Your girlfriend's in my lap. She was hilarious. But yeah, he upped it with new patterns and stuff like that for sure. I lost.
But regardless, whether it's real or scripted, that was the most entertaining battle I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I think a lot. First of all, like all the other competitors, you know, they're all dope, but they were boring. They were boring with their reactions. They didn't really. The only funny one was Hemielix.
People are too nice.
Yeah, they're too nice. Come on, man.
Felix was nice but hilarious. He's like, you use the F word. This is not nice. He's like, he didn't curse once in his routines or in public. And he's like, you're cursing at me. That is not nice. I need to teach you a lesson.
But yeah, Esquire took advantage. Esquire and Ease, I think it was scripted, but who knows?
That's one of the things I love about battles that are now incorporating the use of the laptops and the current DJ technology. There's so and the fact that podcasts such as our own and many others in the DJ community and elsewhere, there's so many things to pull from. You could find somebody saying a sentence that has nothing to do with DJing and flip it the right way as part of a routine. Like there's so much ammunition now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
We'll talk too much about that.
Well,
anytime like Adrian's not speaking, that means we're talking too much about it. All right, moving on. So, Doc, what do we have next?
So there's a new piece of gear out there. Numark and Denon have paired up to create the Mixstream Pro. And have they set a new standard for standalone? Have they set a new standard for the or put themselves as a contender now in DJ software, Engine Prime?
So the big thing is like, you know, like this is the first time Denon Engine has appeared on another brand, so this time it's in Numark. Yeah, so it's you want to speak about it, like Sean, because you actually own one.
I want to jump right into this. So we were having a
Sean,
conversation right after the announcement of the Mixstream Pro, and I was like, I feel like it's probably good to learn how to use Engine OS because we're teachers, and if it's going to be something marketed at beginner DJs, I was like, I've never used Engine OS other than like 5 minutes at NAMM and stuff like that. So let me get my hands dirty, and so I can explain it to somebody who's buying that as their first piece of equipment. And so I decided to go all in, but I also thought about this after I decided to make the purchase of, well, this is an operating system that's part of a piece of hardware. So let me flip the camera over real quick. So here in front of me is the
hang down,
Pro.
flip it and reverse it.
Flip it and reverse it with the overhead camera situation. Welcome to Sean J's studio. So here's the thing.
Guys. Can we zoom on him?
This is. Oops, that's how you. Mess up
can we
the camera.
focus on him? Sorry.
There we go. All right, so this is the screen and front and center for the Mixstream Pro. And what I realized about this, it's actually like just barely larger width-wise than my computer keyboard. I was like impressed that this thing is really portable. I keep knocking the USB port on this. But here's the thing that made me realize. This operating system after years of working on Denon's software, they really have made something robust. But even a step further than that, the entry point for Engine OS prior to this, Doc Bluss knows firsthand, was having the SC5000s or SC4000s that Denon made. And those controllers, the SC5000, $800 for one deck, right? It's got dual layers, but like you could have one piece of equipment and it doesn't really have that same feel as you get with two jog wheels and everything. So this is making a piece of equipment that you can buy one time that has all of the functions you need to learn how to DJ. It's even got the toggle switches that we've all gotten used to thanks to the MS9. It's got software that's robust. And I didn't look at this when I first decided to pull the trigger. All the things that it has built into it. Let me get to the settings. I'm going to click on sources, and what I have enabled right now is just BeatSource Link, shout to BeatSource, and SoundCloud and Dropbox. So you can play from any of them simultaneously, which you can't do on Serato. True. So like I'm going to load a song over here. This is one from a thumb drive. Everything plays right. There's some copyrighted stuff in there, so I'm not going to play it loud. But you have this built-in speaker. So if you're a newbie DJ, rather than having to go and now buy a computer, a controller, and speakers, you can use the speaker that's built in here as your monitor. And they're actually really loud. But then this song over here, which is royalty-free, conveniently enough, shout to Sarah the Instrumentalist. This is something that shows the waveform, it shows everything you need, and this is playing off of two different sources right now. I could go on and play something from SoundCloud now simultaneously. So if you've got Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi being built in, everything being here for you, it makes it such a no-brainer to say, once they adapt this same technology to everything else under the InMusic brand, let me switch the camera back, because let's keep it real. Denon is owned by InMusic. Who else is owned by InMusic? Rain. This is the step. This is the big step that brings in all of these other well-known DJ brands and gives you a platform that you can integrate into hardware. So if somebody's starting off DJing now, they buy one piece of gear because it's easier to buy one piece than three pieces. They get used to this. All right, now I'm going to work my way up. I want something with more features. You can't change the effects on here, for example. Then I'm going to get, SC5000. Might as well get two, so I got the full set. And now someone's married to a platform that's not Serato, Virtual DJ, Tractor, any of the other ones that we're used to. I really do see this as the big play that marks the check next to, yes, Engine OS has made a software contender that is going to be one to watch for the next couple years, if not the next decade.
For the standalone market.
Yeah,
let's be real about that.
I just had an idea.
What's that? And then I want to throw it to Doc to get his
standalone engine box with a screen that'll plug into other hardware. Plug it into your S9. Plug it into your change. Leave your computer home, but you're carrying a box like this with a screen, and you're just
like a Serato box, but with a screen. And
that would change the whole industry, man.
Whoa,
that would be crazy.
That was my idea. Sorry, I was just like, what?
Well, and that's an interesting. It's definitely an interesting point because we're all thinking the same thing. It's like, wow, I wonder what Serato thinks about this because this is, in some degree, Pioneer's already been a challenger to that because Pioneer has their own software, but they also have their own mechanisms for creating DJs without computers. But this is the first kind of hybrid of the two.
First hybrid.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say,
the big difference is Rekordbox. You can't find that in other platforms. That's or other brands. That's the big difference.
You're married
what
to Pioneer.
What Denon Engine did is like, wow.
Oh, I didn't even speak on that. Actually, Doc, since Doc has been using a Denon piece of gear and has the SCs, speak to that. The fact of the matter is you've used Serato, but what was it like making that transition, and what's your thoughts on the gear?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to bring up is that I loved how seamless it was really to be able to, for anyone that has, let's say, a Rekordbox pen drive or a Serato library, like you can just plug it in and import it. And within a couple minutes with, over 5,000 songs, let's say, it will analyze all of those tracks. Engine Prime will analyze all of those tracks on your media player and then load up all your playlists, libraries, cue points, and everything. So it feels like you're playing right off your Serato library or your Rekordbox library. And you don't need a computer to do that. Like with Rekordbox, you still have to run all of your music through a computer to have it analyzed in Rekordbox and then export your drive or whatever, and then put it back into the CDJ or whatever you have.
And,
You know
and
what I
you
mean?
still have to like
It's
if
all
you're trying
done
to
on
bring
Denon now.
your playlist or music from Serato to Rekordbox, you still have to use like some third party software, right? To like
True.
in order to do it to keep all the the metadata.
Yeah,
Is that right?
I mean, it is the Rekordbox software that you have to use to like export or analyze all your music, export it back out, and then put it back into now the CDJ. Because if you, for example, have if you go on Bandcamp and you buy a song, and then you put it onto a pen drive, and then you plug it in your CDJ, even the CDJ 3000 that just came out like a year ago won't be able to read it. It'll just be a black screen. Because you need to pass it through Rekordbox, which feels like you're running a calculator. Now I'm like ranting, but
No, go for it. Go for it.
I just love how seamless it was. It's so seamless. Like I feel like it's I love that you bring this up, Sean, because it seems like they're really pushing the edge forward here. They're collaborating with other brands. They're saying something, which is that let's make this more accessible to students. That'd be perfect. And also it's professional level. Like it's reverse compatible. You can have someone plug in their, Rekordbox or Serato and play a great set, and it'll sound great and feel great. And it's very intuitive to browse.
Link. It's got XLR outs. It's got everything you could basically ever need as a beginner or even intermediate advanced. I got it as a just in case, but this really kind of changed my paradigm in the way I was thinking about my gear.
There's one thing that it did pull back from for like a pro performer user type aspect is the whole 8 pads. They give you the 4. If there was like an extra 4 or like the 8,
but again, it's a Numark controller. It's $600. It's not really like a pro leg, but
it's not meant to.
It's a beginner controller that actually has kind of like pro level.
It's got some pro features. It's got some
pro features like the paddles for sure. Ultimate plus. Ultimate.
Yeah,
I bet that came from like Rain too, because doesn't like Numark doesn't have any paddle. It definitely came from Rain.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like I mean, here's the question: what happens if Engine OS gets on a Rain controller, the Rain 2?
It's over. It's over.
What's gonna happen to the standalone market? I bet the standalone market might blow up.
Quickly.
For mobile.
How much do you think?
Mobile DJ.
How much do you think a 2-channel, say, pro mixer with built-in engine is gonna throw it up though?
I mean, looking at the Numark Mixstream,
are already
$600 for that controller.
That's
great. That's a really good deal.
Yeah, this is one controller for $600, but each
it definitely doesn't cost that much to make that Numark. So it's like with all the touch screen, the engine, the OS built in, and everything else.
Like $2,000 easily MSRP.
Yeah. It's not gonna cost a lot. From the normal prices for all these top level.
Yeah,
mixers.
you're within the wheelhouse of what DJs are used to spending on top end gear. So that's reasonable.
And speaking of top end gear, for those of us that are still using computers to mix and DJ, the new MacBook Pro just came out, and C-Flow, Mr. Mac, gave it the stamp of approval. What do you guys think?
It's about damn time.
I know. I'm excited.
It's got no touch bar.
Got to call up my rep.
So what's the highlights? What did they change? What did they add? What did they take out?
I meant everything. Longer
Art,
battery. I don't know everything, but I do know longer battery life, just more power, more RAM. I think I saw there is a thing you can configure it to 4 terabyte internal SSD. Like it probably costs you literally your firstborn or like a whole limb or something, but you can get that. And apparently they went with the less sleek kind of design. I think Apple's always been pushing that whole thin design in terms of outer shell and kind of like slickness, and they've kind of always had that aesthetic going for them. But this time around, I heard that the computers are kind of back to like the 2012 kind of models where they're a little thicker because they got to fit a bigger battery. They want to fit bigger. It's definitely made for the pro user. They're not making it for the, like, oh yeah, I need a little laptop because I want an Apple. They just like it's for the pro, the people that are doing pro level stuff.
Here's the question: Are the internal parts upgradable?
Oh,
that was the big change that MacBook Pro did. Apple did for the MacBook Pro. It's like everything, like the hard drives and memory, they're all like,
built into the motherboard.
If I had to take a guess, I'm still thinking they're gonna solder in a bunch of this shit.
It's still Apple. It's still
Apple. But hey, well, speaking of this too, does anybody here? We've talked about this before previously a while ago, but I just want to bring back the idea to what is it called? The rights to repair.
Yes.
It's a movement. It's like rights to repair, and Apple is the biggest company that basically goes against that. So screw Apple for that. But basically what that means is, like, in the 60s and 70s, if you went out and bought a refrigerator, that refrigerator came with an actual book of like how it's built, the parts that you would need to fix it. It would say, oh, this is the type of part you would need to fix what's it called? We've gone away from that. I don't know if you guys realize that. The last thing you bought that had instructions on how to fix something, you probably never have done that. Apple, they basically do things like make their own screws to touch,
just so you can't take it out.
So when you need to open the thing at home anyways, you're like, I don't have these screws. You got to go to the store, and they're like, oh, you need a T6 Apple screw, blah, blah, blah. They make their own screw. They make it so hard for you to get in there and to do anything. And shouts out to Biden, the Biden administration. Biden basically just signed something to where he was like, fuck that shit. These people need to be more, they need to be more accountable, and they basically need to allow people to be able to fix things that they're owning. They're buying for thousands of dollars. They own it, but yet you guys create this whole circle where they have to go back to a genius bar where the genius is really some dude that's been there for 4 days who just graduated the genius school, and he's like, hey, you need a new I'm just gonna tell you need something new.
Peace out, guys. I'm gonna run.
All right, we only got like a couple minutes here, but yeah,
Good rest of the show.
Go ahead.
Peace out, Chris. Thank you so much.
By the way, folks, just a reminder.